About 4 years ago, I built a workbench on wheels, and I showed how to put it together. This video, I'm going to talk about things I've added to the workbench and why I built it the way I did. If you're new to woodworking, you got to be careful when you go buy wood, because if you figure your dimensions on your top based on 2x6s, when you get the wood, it's actually 5.5 inches by 1.5 inches, and that can throw off your project. But that's just for beginners. I wanted a real strong workbench, but not so heavy that I couldn't wheel it in and out of the garage. And as you can see on my legs, I used 4x4 boards, and then on the top I used 2x6s. Using my top for a while, I noticed that some people were adding something to the top to protect it. And as you can see here, I've made some saw marks in error, but it's a worktop. What I've got here is a 3/8 inch masonite hardboard. I really recommend that you put something like this on your top. They're very cheap. I think a 4x8 sheet is about $14. And what's nice about it is it protects the boards underneath this from getting nicked and affecting the level. Now, this is not for fine workmanship, but any project you do where you're staining or sanding, this gives you a nice smooth surface. I use finishing nails to attach the hardboard down, and this works pretty good. There's not really any noticeable lumps around it. Another thing I did is I bought a vise for the workbench, and this is a wood vise. It's by Shop Fox, and it did not come with any pads. So what I did is I kind of customized and got some Baltic plywood and cut those and glued it with Gorilla Glue, and then I took pieces of leather, and then again I used cement glue and glued that to the Baltic plywood. And now I have protective pads for my vise. This vise is about $80-something, and it's worked wonders. It's got a little catch here, spring catch, where you can slide in and out. And it wasn't hard to install. I basically had to cut away part of the support board around it and then mount it up under the bottom of the top of the table. But when you're sanding or wanting to hold something, this vise is fantastic. People have asked about the wheels. Do they bind? They have bound a little bit. As you can see there, there's the wheels. I've done quite a bit of woodwork around these wheels and sanding, and they do accumulate dust and sawdust. So what I recommend is that once you get your wheels in there, so often just take a little air can and blow out the wheels, and they should be good to go. And the last part of this is the length of the table, which is 45 inches. I can't remember why I made it 45 inches, but it is a very workable size. Depending on what space you have, I'm kind of in a one-car garage here, so I'm limited, but I do like it where I can move it around and get around both sides. So good luck on building your workbench and wheels if that's what you're going to do. I strongly recommend building one, and I built this after building my original workbench, which is over here, and this one also used 2x6s for the top and 4x4 boards posts for the legs. It is tremendously strong, and it's really handles a lot. So good luck and happy woodworking.